Come gather around me and pay good attention. A story I'll tell you in rhyme of the beautiful land that I'm honored to mention, this Ottawa Valley.
Last summer, Dollard shared a pot of Stag Creek country tea, poured himself a shaky cup, one for Billy and me.
Come walk with me down Lover's Lane.
Hello friends and listeners. Yes, this here is your host with the most country western music, Johnny Woodlock. And for the next 2 hours on the Way Back Country Jamboree, it brings me great honor to take us all on a trip to one of the most unique locations in all of Canada. Located just between the Ontario and Quebec border lies a land called the mighty Ottawa Valley. It is a land of rich heritage in both folklore and country music. And among this valley is some of the most unique characters and performers that you'll ever meet in all of country music. It's my hope that during the next 2 hours that you all will enjoy and fall in love with this area we call the mighty Ottawa. Here is my tribute to the Ottawa Valley, the valley I call my second home.
So I'd strike out the chords and let them ring. It sure felt good in harmony to hear the family sing.
Lying on the other half man, he could crush a piece of rock in the palm of his hand. Big River Joe was the toughest of them all. He was 300 pounds and 7 feet tall. He could whip 8 men, maybe 10 of them were small, and it took a fool to cross Big River Joe.
Valley of mine, this Ottawa Valley.
We are devoted entirely to the easy, friendly type of entertainment. Let's all get together now and have a lot of fun, and let her go, boys!
Hello friends, and welcome into a very special presentation of the Way Back Country Jamboree. We are coming to you from the Woodlock Ranch Studios here in Cornwall, Ontario, and are being carried over, like we always have, CFRC since 2016. Today we are celebrating the Ottawa Valley Fiddlers and a true legend in his own right. A dear friend of mine who has inspired me many times in my own radio career. That is none other than the man y'all have come to know as my radio uncle, Ray Chapeskie, on the banks of the Bonnechere in Ottawa. Having been brought up in the Ottawa Valley himself, and having a love for his native valley like none other, Ray Chapeskie was born in 1945 in Barry's Bay, Ontario. Obtaining his first fiddle as a Christmas present at age 12, today Ray can be found fiddling along with his buddies at the EGANVILLE, Ontario Legion. Today I would like to open up the program with one of the legendary singers from the valley, who is known to many fans as the Meadowlark of the Ottawa Valley, Miss Gail Gavin, and her version of an old Mac Beatty tune titled The Old Time Fiddler's Dream. After that, we will hear from the tribute artist today, my good friend and radio uncle, Ray Chapeskie. With that, we'll also hear his fiddle version of the Tennessee Breakdown after Gail's song. I hope y'all enjoyed the toe-tapping fiddle music of today, and welcome in, friends.
Come on, you old-time fiddlers, come listen while I sing about a dream I had last night, an old-time fiddler's thing. Now all the best from east to west had gathered in that dream, and the first to play the fiddle was Lord Allen with his theme. Ward smiled at me and then he said, I'd like for you to meet a guy from down near Charlottetown who'll make you shake your feet. Don Messer is the guy I mean, a fiddler of renown. Just listen to him play that tune he calls his own breakdown. be a man that sure has style. Winston Fitzgerald is his name, from Cape Breton Isle. The Lanark County fiddlers had me tapping heel and toe. The wee old fiddlers played along, and this is how it goes. Al Journey played a jig for me, Graham Townsend played a reel, Dominic Curley played a waltz to polish off the field, and Johnny Mooring joined the fun and played a tune with zeal, and Reggie Hill wound up the show with his old sleigh ride reel. Rosined up before. I never heard so many feet a-tapping on the floor. The final breakdown would be played, so wonderful it seemed. I hope tonight I have another old-time fiddler's dream.
And now, friends, we are back on the Way Back Country Jamboree. And if you're just joining us today, we are doing a tribute to the fiddle legends of the Ottawa Valley. And I'd like to put on a song now for my beloved Mama Don and Papa Willie B up there in Cornwall, Ontario. And by the great recitation master himself, Red Sylvain, a story about the old fiddler titled The the Old Fiddler. After that, we have from my best friend, my loyal companion, my #1 listener in true love and life, Miss Velma LaPointe, one of the great classics of country music fiddle, and inspired by the violin, we have a song titled "The Older the Violin, the Sweeter the Music" by Hank Thompson for my Jenny today. Then after that, I will wrap up this set with the classic Liberty Two-Step by one of the true classic fiddle legends of the Valley, Mr. Ward Allen, who had a huge influence on a very young Ray Chapeskie in the early days. I hope you all enjoy these classics today, and welcome in, friends.
I was on my way out to Phoenix, and I stopped in a West Texas town to gas up the old truck and rest a bit, and I thought I might do some browsing around. I asked the man at the truck stop what was happening in town. I like to kick up my feet. And he said, "Why, there's a band from the Grand Ole Opry that's playing right down the street." And the place was about 3 blocks away, and it looked like a used car lot. The music sounded prettier every step I took and got louder the closer I got. I paid my way in and pushed through the crowd to the bandstand way in the rear. And I was leaning on the rail by Hal Rugg and his steel guitar, with a grin from ear to ear. And my attention was drawn to a little old man, and his hair was as white as snow. In one hand he held an old fiddle, and in the other hand was a bow. Well, at first I thought he was there with the band, but I soon saw what it was about. Why, he was a hounding the boys to let him set in, and the club owners wanting to throw the old man out. Soon the band took a break, and the boys came down. The star, you all know him well. He made his way over to the little old man through the screaming crowd and the yells, and he said, "You know, I seem to recognize you, sir, but I don't quite recall your name." "Oh, yeah, I remember now. Why, I was just a kid when you was at the height of your fame." "Now hold on, son," the old man said. "There's no use to waste your breath. Well, there's a modern trend in music today, and the fiddle has met its death. Why, there's not a soul in this crowd tonight that would even give me a hand. But son, I want to hear what a fiddle sounds like just one more time with a band." Soon the band came back, and the star of the show, and the crowd fell still and quiet. For the little old man, he was introduced that night like never before, with the click of the strings and the touch of the bow and the count of 1, 2, 3. Such a fiddling you've never heard before. It's something the whole world should see. Why, the crowd wouldn't let the old man quit. It was a night we'd never forget, and he played every number that they asked him to play until his clothes was just wringing with sweat. That night, I saw a genius at work, the touch of a true master's hand, for he had more talent in one little finger than the entire rest of the band. But I had to leave a few minutes before closing time to get a head start of the crowd. And I got my old truck back out on the highway, and inside I felt good and proud. I'm glad I didn't stay until they played the theme, for the morning papers all read when the band played "Good Night, Little Sweetheart," the old fiddler fell dead.
It seems you think that 45 is just a little too old now, but I'm not ready yet to be put out in the cold now. I've got plenty of good love left, woman, if you'll just use it. You know, the older the violin, the sweeter the music, and I can play a symphony of love like 1,000 violins singing from above. You're gonna really miss my loving one day when you lose it. You know, the older the violin, the sweeter the music. These specks of gray that's in my hair just make me look distinguished. They don't mean I'm over the hill, baby, I'm not extinguished. There's plenty of young girls waiting for my love, honey, they won't refuse it. They know the older the violin, the sweeter the music. And I can play a symphony of love, like 1,000 violins singing from above. You're gonna really miss my loving one day when you lose it. You know, the older the violin, the sweeter the music. I can play a symphony of love, like 1,000 violins singing from above. You're gonna really miss my loving one day when you lose it. You know, the older the violin, the sweeter the music. And I can play a symphony of love, like 1,000 violins.
Sugar Shack. Have a few drinks while we boil down the sack.
Hello, this is Jamie McMunn from the Ottawa Valley Country Music Hall of Fame. You're listening to my good friend Johnny Woodlock, the host with the most on the Way Back Country Jamboree. So pull up that reserved table and enjoy the music. And I'll see you at the Sugar Shack.
If you're looking for me, I don't know when I'll be back, but you find me out at the Sugar Shack.
Now friends, as we have for the past 5 years, I would like to take us all on our weekly trip to the Ottawa Valley. Even though the show today is focused on the Ottawa Valley and my Uncle Ray, I would still like to put on a song for him and Aunt Margaret. And from the Ottawa Valley, it's going to be Mr. Ottawa Valley himself, Mr. Mac Beattie, and it'll be the story of the Melodiers, his famous band out of the valley, with a fiddle, guitar, and washboard. Then after that we have the legendary Bob King from down the road here in Joyceville, Ontario, and he will be doing his classic Traveling Fiddler off one of the old LP records that Uncle Ray gave me many years ago. And after that we'll play us out with the legendary Howard Hayes and his classic Fiddle and Song Man. I hope y'all enjoy this trip to the valley today. This whole show dedicated to the valley. Welcome in, friends.
Here's the story of the Melodiers. It's called A Fiddle, Guitar, and Washboard. Well, I am just a country boy, and country music I enjoy. I learned to like it years ago from listening to the radio. When I grew up, I formed a band, not too big, you understand. We bought the best we could afford with a fiddle, guitar, and washboard. Yes, the fiddle, guitar, and washboard, that was all we could afford. But still they like to hear us play, and play we did and still today. You often see us on TV down on Don Messer's Jubilee. We play the best we can afford with a fiddle, guitar, and washboard. We started 20 years ago at Pembroke on the radio, and out around Lake Dory Way, the folks all came to hear us play. Yes, those are very happy years. We call our band Max Melodiers, and through the years, the fan mail poured for a fiddle, guitar, and washboard. A fiddle, guitar, and washboard, that was all we could afford. But still they like to hear us play, and play we did and still today. You often see us on TV down on Don Messer's Jubilee. We play the best we can afford with a fiddle, guitar, and washboard. Down through the years we branched out some. We got ourselves a bass and drum, the best piano in the land, and a steel guitar rounds out the band. So if you're ever up our way, the hotel rent room where we play, drop in, my friend, you won't be bored with a fiddle, guitar, and washboard. And there, my friend, is the story of the Melodiers.
When I was a little boy, my dad would say to me, son, there's only one thing that I'd like you to be. So he bought me a fiddle and himself an old guitar. We started into practicing, he said I'd be a star. Now I'm a little older and well upon my way, playing fiddle everywhere. I've heard the people say that I am a traveling fiddler. I move around the land, playing ragtime Annie with my little country band. I can play a maple sugar, I can play the hangman's reel, grizzly bear or money musk or big old John McNeil. Or if they want some novelty, I'll start to drag the bow. On the orange blossom special, I can make that old train go. Fiddled with the best of them from all across the land, Don Messer and Ward Allen, even Johnny Carry On. Paul Menard and Earl Mitten play a mighty old-time tune. I'm going up to Shelburne and I hope to win it soon. There I'll meet with all my friends, we'll fiddle up a storm. Graham Townsend will be there, a fiddling in true form. We'll talk about our traveling and places we have been. I am a traveling fiddler, I'll be seeing you again.
kind of man does it take to make a living with a beat-up fiddle and an old guitar? Playing Angus Campbell or the latest song he wrote down in some old dingy country bar. He's always working late at night and seldom ever home. His hair might be a little bit too long. To some folks he's the greatest, while others think he's not. And then there's some that thinks that he's gone wrong. He's a fiddle and a song man, he's country through and through, working all those little country bars, playing Angus Campbell the best way he knows how. Listen, here's his fiddle now. This morning he received 500 copies of a record he recorded. It's financed by his mom. Now tonight he'll mail them out to all the country stations and pray to God it hits the #1. He's a fiddle and a song man, he's country through and through, working all those little country bars, playing Angus Campbell the best way he knows how. Listen, here's his fiddle now.
A member of the Ottawa Valley Country Music Hall of Fame, and you're listening to my good friend who I've met a couple of times, Johnny Woodlock, on the Way Back Country Jamboree on CFRC. Keep your dial tuned to this station. We're going to have fun.
Now, friends, with our special salute to the fiddlers of the Ottawa Valley today, I'd like to share a special interview that I taped back in the winter with one of our dear mentors and friends of the Jamboree. Of course, he is also our radio uncle of the Ottawa Valley, and may I say one of the greatest fiddle players that the mighty Ottawa Valley has ever known. My dear radio uncle, Ray Chapeskie. I hope y'all enjoy hearing these wonderful stories of the valley that Ray has to share with us all today. And this is a part 1 of a 2-part interview, with part 2 coming in on the second hour of the Way Back Country Jamboree. This is also about 10 minutes long, and we'll hear Uncle Ray play after this interview his version of the Polish Waltz, which he does an amazing job on, and I hope y'all enjoy this, and welcome in, friends. And so let's go back to where you were born.
Yeah.
You were born in Barry's Bay, Ontario in 1945.
That's correct.
What are your earliest musical memories growing up there?
Well, when I think back, for some strange reason, my dad had listened to the radio a fair bit. Not a lot. He put on the news, but he was able to find music at times, and there were very few stations we could get, but there was a radio station called the CBC Dominion Network, and they carried music regularly, an hour, I believe, and there was also the Don Messer radio show, so we used to listen to Don Messer every Monday night, I think, and whatever day of the week it was, I'd listen to that CBC Dominion Network, and they had various musical groups from across the country, and one of them was Mac Beattie and his Ottawa Valley Melody.
Of course, yes. Mr. Ottawa Valley.
Yeah, and then there was some other station. There was a CKWS out of Kingston that had a couple hours on a Saturday night of country music.
Yes.
When I was still going to school, and there was CHEX out of Peterborough.
Okay.
Staying with Sean Aird, a DJ there for many years, and all of them played a lot of Canadian country music, which was my my real interest. So those are the memories that I have of getting the beat into my heart and my soul, I guess.
Okay.
No, neither of my parents did play music.
How did you come to pick up the fiddle then?
Well, I guess it was quite a good family time, always watching Don Messer, and my dad, I guess I must have said or felt something that he got the vibes, but I think in about the Christmas of 1956, Santa Claus brought me a fiddle.
Oh, okay, yes.
So I would have been, 11 years old?
About that, yes.
And my younger brother, who lives in Kingston right now, by the way, he got a guitar.
Oh, okay, yes, okay.
And that was the start of being really interested in the instrument itself, and Dad was able to arrange for music lessons at the convent, which is where the teachers in our school went. It was a separate school, and all of our teachers were nuns.
Okay, so it was like a Catholic school.
That's correct. The Catholic school and the Sisters of St. Joseph taught all the grades, grade 1 to 8.
Okay.
Each one, there were 8 different nuns, and they had different grades. And there was a music lady. She did the choir in the church, and she also taught music in the convent.
Okay.
Mostly piano, yeah.
I see.
And Dad spoke with her, and she was able to say yes. She'd give me some violin lessons. She didn't play it, but she could show me where the fingers went and play along on the piano and tutor me that way.
And the rest, and as they say, the rest is history. You
and
the fiddle become best of friends.
Exactly, and then we ended up getting a lot of, they'd arrange for concerts, Christmas concerts in the church hall and different things, so I got to play with the other people that were taking music lessons too. So playing with people and groups became almost addictive.
Okay, and I understand your first concert with a country music legend was Ward Allen.
Correct. I think that would have been, the early winter, January, February of 1958. So I was pretty young yet, 13 or so.
Oh, yeah.
And to just lead into it, there was a group playing out on CFRA radio out of Ottawa back in the days, the CFRA Happy Wanderers.
Yes, with Papa Joe and Bob King and them, yes.
Yeah. And they played 40 minutes live radio every day, 5 days a week. And then at nights they were traveling somewhere in the valley for a show and dance.
Amazing.
And and when they were coming to the Lakeside Pavilion in Barry's Bay, I convinced my mother to take me there.
Okay.
And that's when it happened. And I tell you, I was always in a front row thing. We stood around, they played a show for an hour, and then they played 3 hours of dance music.
Amazing.
And it was, I looked up there, I think I must have been in second heaven, watching Ward Allen play Maple Sugar and some of these tunes, a lot of ones we know he hadn't written yet.
Exactly, and I would have been in awe at that.
You know the feeling, and I've been gone anyway. I've had others with other entertainers yet, but nothing was like that one.
Okay, and at what age did you meet Mr. Ottawa Valley himself, Mr. Mac Beatty? I know we touched on this a bit.
It was pretty well around the same time, a little bit later, I think, but Mac Beatty was one of the people that used to be on the CBC Dominion network. And they, like I say, they featured maybe a BC band one week and a Manitoba band, and the Ottawa Valley Melodiers was one night. So one year, I'm not sure which, late 50s, very early 60s, when Don Messer was still on the air, he was going off, like they take off about 4 months in the summer. So I wrote a letter to the Ottawa Journal, which Dad subscribed to by mail. They had a little column there called the TV Mailbag.
Okay.
And in the letter I suggested that to replace Don Messer in the summer, they could maybe consider Mac Beatty and his Ottawa Valley Melodiers.
Yes.
Fair and dandy. So in about a couple of weeks, I got a nice personal letter from Mac Beatty thanking me for that plug. And he said, it's through people like you that we can get into TV, because he said, and I quote him, he said, it's a pretty hard nut to crack. Yeah. And then following that, somewhere within months or more, Mac Beatty and the Ottawa Valley Melodiers came to that same pavilion near Barry's Bay. And I guess I talked my mother again to driving me because I wouldn't have been driving yet.
Exactly.
And when the opportunity arrived at a break, I went up there to shake the hand of Mac and meet the gang. And Mac says, "What's your name?" And I told him. And I just mentioned mentioned it once, and he said, "You're the guy that wrote that letter to the Ottawa Journal quite a while ago."
Oh, yeah.
And he thanked me again and gave me a nice warm handshake and whatever. And he said, "I really appreciated that." He said.
Yes.
And the interesting thing is, quite a long time after, I went to another show with Mac and the Melodiers, and he recognized me to see me and remembered my name.
Now that's amazing, yes.
Yeah. So
With all the people that they see, it's amazing when they remember you.
Yeah, he had a photographic memory, and I think it was several times during his career that I had been at the same show, and one of them was, golly, that would have been in the 80s. Then I was living out in BC, and I came back for a conference in Ottawa, a fairly big conference held at the conference center. And they always have one big event because it's from across Canada. Mm-hmm. And the band they had hired for that big event in the Coliseum or wherever it was Mac Beatty.
Mac Beatty again, yes, okay.
And somebody by then everybody knew I played fiddle, and somebody went up that was with the conference thing, and he mentioned, he said, "Oh, we got one of our guys that plays. You want to get him up for a couple of tunes?" And they told me that. I went up to the room. We were staying in the same hotel.
Yes.
And I got called up. When I got up there, Mac remembered me again.
Amazing, yes.
It must have been probably 10 years later.
Wow.
And we had a couple of tunes, so I got to play with the Ottawa Valley Melodiers. Yeah. Actually, I didn't even go up for my fiddle. Reggie Hill, his fiddle player, lent me his for a couple of tunes.
Reggie, yes.
So that was pretty exciting.
Okay, I'd imagine. And as I was going to say, thank God for mamas and mums.
Exactly, yes, Johnny.
Yes.
We both know that.
That's for sure. For a number of years, you had hosted the Polish show on Heritage Radio. Would you share with us a little bit about that?
Yes, that was very early in the life of Valley Heritage Radio. Mm-hmm. Vic Garbutt is called the father of that station. He left another station and spent 2 or 3 or 4 years gathering support to start a station on this side of the river. Yes. And when it became a reality, Heritage was going to be one of the big call letters of it, and he talked me and David Schulist into having a show to celebrate our culture, which was Kashubian and Polish.
Okay.
And it started from there. So 1 year exactly, almost after the station started, we started on Saturday mornings, 2 hours from 8 till 10, and we played mostly music that was by musicians that came from our culture.
Okay, yes.
Most of the music was Canadian and North American country music and fiddle, but the names were names like Dombrowski and Chapeskie and Koulis, and the list goes on, eh?
I see, yes, okay.
And we also played some music from the homeland, from Kashubia in Europe and from Poland, and American Polish music.
Okay, sure.
And we spent a lot of time talking about our history here. Mm-hmm. When people came and how they were connected, and interviewing people.
Like me, yeah.
Like you. We'd bring them on, and especially some of the older people that remembered some of the things, and we were able to archive it and document it that way. For, let's say, 8 going on 9 years.
Hello, friends and listeners to the Wayback Country Jamboree. Yes, this is your host with the most country western music, Johnny Woodlock, host of the Wayback Country, and I'd like to invite y'all to write me, yours truly, and share your thoughts on the show. So write your letters to Mr. Johnny Woodlock, care of Woodlock Ranch Studios, P.O. Box 21007, that's 21007, Cornwall, Ontario, K6H7H8, Canada. And I'll be sure to write you back. In the meantime, our beloved mascot, Simbush, and yours truly will be checking the mailbox.
So keep those cards and letters coming in.
Well, now, friends, it's that time of week again that we'd like to pay tribute to the Vinyl Blast from Vinyl Past. And with today's tribute to the Ottawa Valley Fiddler, we have a special tribute to one of the founding fathers of the Valley Fiddle. And some may go so far to say the king of the Ottawa Valley Fiddlers, Ward Allen, whom was born in 1924 near London, Ontario, before making it all the way to the mighty Ottawa Valley. He was only 41 when he sadly passed away in 1965. However short his life may have been, he left the fiddle lovers with some of the greatest compositions to ever be played on the fiddle, or ever to come out of the valley. So I would like to pay tribute to Ward today with a tribute by Mr. Ottawa Valley himself, Mr. Mac Beattie, and that song Mac had out many years ago titled The Maple Sugar Blues. And to follow that up, we have the classic all-time favorite of all fiddle players and the Ottawa Valley Fiddle anthem, Maple Sugar. These are taken from the original LP records, and so I hope y'all enjoy hearing them today as we pay tribute to the man we all know as the king of the fiddle, Ward Allen. Welcome in, friends.
Have you heard the sad news, brother, on the radio today? We all whispered to each other when Ward Allen passed away. And across the wide dominion, folks are mourning at the news, while the fiddles play the Maple Sugar Blues. The announcer said Ward Allen at the age of 41, and he leaves behind his lovely wife, the mother of 2 sons, and the million fans who worshipped him are saddened by the news, and the fiddles play the Maple Sugar Blues. In a quiet country churchyard, 'neath a maple sugar tree, it was here they laid his body down as he wished it to be. Now the maples are in mourning for the great friend we did lose, and the fiddles play the Maple Sugar Blues. He was born and bred in Exeter, southwest Ontario. He was gentle, kind and humble, everybody loved him so. And he wrote great compositions in his own familiar strain, and the tune called Maple Sugar won him fame. In a quiet country churchyard, 'neath a maple sugar tree, it was here they laid his body down as he wished it to be. Now the maples are in mourning for the great friend we did lose, and the fiddles play the Maple Sugar Blues. The fiddles play the Maple Sugar Blues.
And now, friends, it's that time of week once again to close out the first hour of the Way Back Country Jamboree today. And with that, I would like to pay tribute to and our respects to the gospel side of the Ottawa Valley, with some real classics from the legends, including late great Papa Joe Brown and his family of the Family Brown, and they will be doing the classic Songbirds Are Singing in Heaven, an old Kitty Wells cover. And then to play us up to the very top of the hour, we have Edie Thomas, the singing grandmother of the valley, and she's got for us today a cover of an old Kitty Wells song titled Master's Bouquet. I hope to talk to y'all on the other side of 3 o'clock, and welcome in, friends.
The songbirds are singing in heaven tonight. They're happy because you are there.
The flowers are blooming in heaven tonight to give you a rose for your hair.
Oh, how I miss you, my darling, and yet it's a comfort to know
the songbirds are singing in heaven tonight.
They're telling you I miss you so. Are blooming in heaven tonight. They're bringing my love songs to you.
I wish I was with you in heaven tonight to live all our bygones anew.
My arms are longing to hold you. It's lonesome since you went away.
The songbirds are singing in heaven tonight.
We'll hear them together someday.
Death is an angel sent down from above, sent for the birds and the flowers we love. Truly 'tis so, for in heaven's own way, each soul is a flower for the Master's bouquet. Gathering flowers for the Master's bouquet, beautiful flowers that will never decay, gathered by angels and carried away, forever to bloom in the Master's bouquet. Loved ones are passing each day and each hour, passing away like the life of a flower. But every bud and each blossom someday will bloom as a flower for the Master's bouquet. Gathering flowers for the Master's bouquet. in the master's bouquet. Now let us be faithful till life's work is done, blooming with love till the reaper shall come. Then we'll be gathered together that day, transplanted to bloom in the master's bouquet. Gathering flowers for the master's bouquet, beautiful flowers that will never decay. Gathered by angels and carried away, forever to bloom in the master's bouquet. Forever to bloom in the master's bouquet.
Ottawa Valley of mine.
Hello out there in Radio Land. This is Ray Chapeskie near EGANVILLE, Ontario, on the shores of the Bon Cher River, and you are listening to my good friend Johnny Woodlock every Sunday afternoon and anytime during the week on the World Wide Web. Good interviews and good traditional country music, so stay tuned.
When we drive the big rafts down the Ottawa River in this good old valley of mine.
And now, friends, we're sitting on the other side at 3 o'clock here at the Wayback Country Jamboree. We're coming to you from the Woodlock Ranch Studios, located in Cornwall, Ontario, Canada, and being carried, as we always have been, over CFRC 101.9 FM on your local radio dials, as well as Cogeco Cable 282, Android, Alexa, and Apple apps, and anywhere else radio music is streamed, including www.cfrc.ca. Now, I would like to pay tribute to the classic legend of the East Coast and one of the kings of the East Coast, Don Messer, and we've got a classic by Stompin' Tom Connors here, and his tribute to Don Messer titled The Don Messer Story. After that, we'll hear from the old master himself and fiddle version of St. Anne's Reel by Don Messer himself. I hope y'all stick around for some more great toe-tapping music, and welcome in, friends.
He was born in old New Brunswick in the early part of May 1909. 6 years old, he played the fiddle at the barn dance on the old York County line. Every year, Don got better. He dreamed about that fortune down the track. Then he came down to St. John City, where he formed the old New Brunswick Lumberjacks. Don Messer played rings around the mountains. He played reels all across the plain. He played all that kind of music that has made the country proud to say his name. Soon his band would have a singer. Charlie Chamberlain would join the Messer fleet and travel to Prince Edward Island to play on radio for $12 every week. On the air, right after supper, commencing in the year of 39, the man would say, "It's old Don Messer and the Islanders from down the Maritime." Don Messer played rings around the mountains. He played reels all across the plain. He played all that kind of music that has made the country proud to say his name. Coast to coast with Don and Charlie, Duke Nielsen and Ray Simmons played it up. Warren McRae with Cease McCackern. Now the Islanders went touring to the top. How Charlie sang with Margaret Osborne, and Waldo made the old piano twang. for the Queen. They played in concert, and it was magic how Don Messer's fiddle rang. Don Messer played Rings Around the Mountains. He played reels all across the plain. He played all that kind of music that has made the country proud to say his name. 17 years on television, from 1956 to 73, Don Messer made his mark forever, the fiddling king of country music history. Throughout the world, it's undisputed, Don Messer and the Islanders were tops. And away down east, beside the ocean, the kind of music they began will never stop. Don Messer played Rings Around the Mountains. He played reels all across the plain. He played all that kind of music that has made the country proud to say his name. He has made the country proud to say his name.
And now, friends, it's once again that time of week that we'd like to pay tribute to the births and deaths in country music. And first of all, we've got a song that's very much fitting for this time of period in country music, and is simply called Murder on Music Row by George Strait and Alan Jackson. And after the recent award show, I think they have murdered country music. But that's my own opinion, and I think I am entitled to it. But anyway, George Strait, the king of modern country music, is celebrating his 69th birthday on May 18th, 1952. And then after that, we've got Billy Walker, the Tall Texan, as we pay tribute and remember his 15th anniversary of his sad passing in that terrible car accident on May 21st of 2006. He would have been also turning 92 this year if he had been alive, but he sadly passed away, as I say, in that terrible car accident. And he's got a rare song titled The Record. Then after that we've got The Voice with a Heart, Mr. Mac Wiseman, and he would have been just turning his 96th birthday today, May 23rd, and May 23rd of 1925 he was born, sadly passing away on February 24th of 2019. And he's got a classic title, Don't Judge a Book by Its Cover. Mac Wiseman, we miss you every day, and here we go with some real classics. If it's your birthday this week, past week, or any time in May, I wish y'all a happy birthday. Welcome, friends.
Nobody saw him running from 16th Avenue. They never found a fingerprint or the weapon that was used. But someone killed country music, cut out its heart and soul. They got away with murder down on Music Row. The almighty dollar and the lust for worldwide fame slowly killed tradition, and for that someone should hang. You tell them, Alan. Well, they all say not guilty, but the evidence will show that murder was committed down on Music Row. For the steel guitars no longer cry, and fiddles barely play, but drums and rock and roll guitars are mixed up in your face. Oh, Hank wouldn't have a chance on today's radio, since they committed murder down on Music Row. They thought no one would miss it once it was dead and gone. They said no one would buy them old drinking and cheating songs. Well, I still buy them. Well, there ain't no justice in it, and the hard facts are cold. Murder's been committed down on Music Row. Guitars no longer cry, and you can't hear fiddles play, with drums and rock and roll guitars mixed right up in your face. Why, the hag, he wouldn't have a chance on today's radio, since they've committed murder down on Music Row. Why, they'd even tell the possum to pack up and go back home. There's been an awful murder down on Music Row.
record. Around and round it spins. I sit alone, watching someone I've known drop a dime in the jukebox, and the record keeps spinning. As around with her new love she dances, around and round, and then somehow I see that the record's like me, and like all of her lovers have been. Once I was high on her heart parade. Love was new, she was true for a time. But then she grew tired of my love serenade, and she dropped me like somebody drops the jukebox a dime. Now around and around goes the record. Around and round it spins. But soon it will be just an old melody that she won't give a dime for again. Once I was high on her heart parade. Love was new, she was true for a time. But then she grew tired of my love serenade, and she dropped me like somebody drops a jukebox a dime. Now around and around goes the record. Around and round it spins. But soon it will be just an old melody that she won't give a dime for again. Around and around goes the record. Around and around goes the record.
You can't judge a book, dear, by its cover. You can't tell if it's good or bad. The cover may be in the brightest color, but inside the story may be sad. Pretty pictures make the cover gay, though the pages may be stained with age. You can't judge a book, dear, by its cover till you've read what's written on each page. Just because there are dark clouds in the heaven doesn't mean that it will always rain. Just because you see somebody smiling doesn't mean inside there is no pain. So it doesn't matter what you hear. Don't believe it till you know it's true. You can't judge a book, dear, by its cover till you've read the story through and through. So it doesn't matter what you hear. Don't believe till you know it's true. You can't judge a book, dear, by its cover till you've read the story through and through.
You and I are stereo.
Hello, everybody. This is Gloria Ann Carrier-Prophet, and you are listening to my good friend Johnny Woodlock on the Way Back Country Jamboree every Sunday afternoon from 2 to 4 for the best in traditional country music.
Behind closed doors, our love's a song.
Well, honey, you can do no wrong.
'Cause when it comes to making music, darling, don't you know, you and I are stereo.
And now, friends, it's once again that time of week that we like to pay tribute to the Canadian Northern Gems by Canadian Northern Legends. And today, with it being a tribute to our dear friend Uncle Ray Chapeskie and the Ottawa Valley, I'd like to shine the light on some of Uncle Ray's favorite performers out of the Ottawa Valley. When I asked him to pick 3 of his favorite Canadian stars and Canadian songs, these are the ones he picked. So I hope you all enjoy as we pay tribute to real Canadian legends out of the Ottawa Valley. First of all, we've got a classic by Mr. Ottawa Valley himself, Mr. Mac Beatty, and it'll be Take Me Back to the Madawaska Valley. After that, we have another classic heavily influenced by the Ottawa Valley Fiddle, and it'll be Hank Rivers, or Henri Le Riviere as he was originally known to millions of fans in the valley there. And he's got his traveling blues. And you know, if you listen real close, you can hear 2 places that are near and dear to yours truly's heart. First of all, Kingston, and then Cornwall. And then after that, we have Uncle Ray's favorite singer of all time. That's none other than our Joyceville boy, Bob King, and he has a classic titled Josephine. I hope y'all enjoy these tributes to the Canadian Northern Gems today by real Canadian Northern Legends. Welcome in, friends.
When the summer sun's declining o'er the hardwoods on the hills, and the lonesome whippoorwill begins to call, then my lonely heart starts pining for the duty it instills, and that valley that I love the best of all. Take me back to the Madawaska Valley, let me spend a holiday in the hills of Larry's Bay. How I'm longing for the lakes of California and the beauty of that valley home of mine. Down the Quadville Road I'll wander, where the old stone fences lay, where my great-grandfathers worked the land to clear. To the Palmer just up yonder, where the river wends its way, to the peaceful little ville of Combermere. Take me back to the Madawaska Valley, let me stroll beneath the pines by the old Black Gunnel mine. How I'm longing for the honey hills of Griffith, Madawaxan and that valley home of mine. From Algonquin Park and Whitney, where the valley waters start, flowing east to Madawaska round the bend. How the beauty of it hits me, Mother Nature's won my heart, when I reach Hardbrier at the river's end. Take me back to the Madawaska Valley, how I miss the golden haze of those drowsy autumn days. God has made it and created earth and heaven in the beauty of that valley home of mine, in the Madawaska Valley home of mine.
I've roamed this wide country, boys, both near and far. Wherever I travel, I take my guitar. From the coast to Vancouver, I've looked all around, seen them play football in Edmonton town. In Calgary, I've met and kissed girls that were dear, seen the big stampede they have every year. Regina and Moose Jaw I've seen on the run. When at Pagan Fort William I had lots of fun. From Sault Ste. Marie I came right down the line. The city of Hamilton is mighty fine. In Toronto I went to the big jamboree. Kingston, Ontario, friends were nice to me. In Rouyn-Noranda, town's known for fame, where they dig up the gold in the snow and the rain. I backpacked to Sudbury on the main line, sang to the miners with hearts true and kind. I rolled into North Bay, a town you all know. The weather was cold, it was 40 below. Down into Pembroke and Arnprior too, where the folks they all greet you with a howdy you do. In the city of Ottawa, capital town, where the government buildings and the parkways abound. I drove up to Cornwall and along the seaway. I took a trip to the Grand USA. In old Montreal I arrived one bright morn, not very far, boys, from where I was born. I watched them play hockey not so long ago. I shook the hand of Big Jean-Belle Laveau. Fredericton, Moncton, to the old Chapeskie coast, to the city of Halifax, I'll drink a toast. On the boat I went over to Prince Edward Isle, Queens County and Dartmouth I stayed just a while. The Gander Air Base had my head in a whirl, with planes coming in from all parts of the world. We should be proud of a country so grand, be thankful you live in this beautiful land.
Josephine, oh Josephine, oh I love my Josephine. Come Josephine, come along with me, let's run away Mopsy Cherry. We'll both go down to Montreal, I'll be good for you if to be my gal. We'll go honky-tonkin' around the town, we won't come home till the break of dawn. So come Josephine and squeeze kiss me, we'll make believe we're in gay party. Josephine, oh Josephine, oh I love my Josephine. I'll sing to you if you think I should, like Elvis down in Hollywood. So come along, I love you all, I'm a singing hillbilly from Montreal. Meet me, ce soir, sur le Saint-Catherine, we'll have a big time, little Josephine. I'll take you here and I'll take you there, as long as you've got the dough to spare. Josephine, oh Josephine, oh I love my Josephine. Josephine, oh Josephine, oh I love my Josephine. You know my darling, oh je t'aime. If you do me wrong, I'll be gone again. So embrasse-moi, mon amour, I love you, my darling, for toujours. Well, we'll get married, live like heck, raise some kids, get a great big check. Maybe we'll have about 8, 9, 10, and then Josephine start over again. Josephine, oh Josephine, oh I love my Josephine.
Let's make a fair trade, your heart for mine.
Hello everybody, my name is Caroline King, daughter of Bob and Mary King of the Ottawa Valley Country Music, with my good friend Johnny Woodlock on the Way Back Country Jamboree, CFRC 101.9 FM.
Let's make a a fair trade, your heart for mine.
Now, friends, with this tribute to the fiddlers of the Ottawa Valley, I'd like to shine the light on 3 legendary fiddlers originating out of the valley we call the Mighty Ottawa. To set things up into a toe-tapping rhythm, here we have the legendary Johnny Mooring and his version of the fiddle classic Joys of Quebec. Following that will be the longtime fiddle legend and fiddler of the Melodiers, which was Mac Beatty's legendary band, and none other than Reg Hill with the Reg Hills Breakdown. Then after that, we have another classic out of the valley, and who can think of the valley without thinking of the Townsend family, in particular Graham Townsend. And he has a classic I have long admired and long hoped that Uncle Ray would learn for me, and I hope he still will, and titled Listen to the Mockingbird. This is a tribute to the fiddlers with highlights from 3 of the very greatest legends out of the valley. But this is just a step into the valley fiddlers. This is not all of the fiddlers that were known in the Great Valley. Welcome, and friend.
This is Al Briscoe of Steel Guitars of Canada, and you are listening to my good friend Johnny Woodlock on the Wayback Country Jamboree. Keep stealing, but don't get caught.
And yes, friends, it's that time of week again that we'd like to pay tribute to the second hour of the Wayback Country Jamboree's special interview. And this, of course, is the second half of a wonderful interview with our dear radio uncle, Uncle Ray Chapeskie, up there on the banks of the Bonnechere River in EGANVILLE. And as we play this, I hope you all enjoy Ray's memories of the valley. After this 10-minute interview, we will hear Uncle Ray's version of a song I only know him to have recorded and played, and that is none other than The Waltz for Ward Allen. I hope you all enjoyed today's show, and welcome into this second interview. Welcome in, friends. I've asked everybody in the valley that I've interviewed so far, what is so special and different about the musical history of Ottawa Valley?
I think part of it goes back to that word I mentioned 2 or 3 times here already, is heritage.
Yes.
We were blessed to inherit people from a number of cultures in Europe. There's the Irish and the Kashubian and the Polish and the German that stand out, and the Scottish, and each one came with their own flavor of music. And when they got here, they basically shared that music amongst each other, and it started to blend, and then radio came out and records and stuff, and the North American music set in.
Okay.
So the Ottawa Valley people, I think, it gave it a little different flavor and a bounce, when they put all those cultures together with, say, a song out of Nashville.
Exactly, yes. It's more local, too.
Yeah, and local, and also there are so many musicians in the valley.
Exactly.
And so many good musicians.
So let's say, who is your favorite legendary performer out of the Ottawa Valley?
Well, if we put aside Ward Allen, out of singers, I would have to say Bob King.
Yes, okay.
He wrote so many great songs. He had so many albums, and I've had all of them, and I think you've got them now.
Yes,
They're part of your collection.
Yes.
And the interesting thing is Bob King's album, Sing a Country Song. It's got a picture of the Parliament buildings on the front. Was my first vinyl LP.
Yes, okay. And you were saying that it was back in 1958 you got that one around there.
It would be about that. At that time, Joe Brown, who was the one of the Happy Wanderers, he also had a night job on CFRA hosting a country music radio show. And people would write in, and each week he'd pick out one letter, and he'd give them an album. It turns out he picked my letter one week, and he sent me this album, which was the Bob King album.
Yes.
So I ended up getting it from Joe Brown, and it was my first vinyl LP.
Oh, so you met Joe too then, Papa Joe?
Oh, Joe on various occasions, yeah.
I see, yes.
Yeah.
And a little insight into that is that you said that Papa Joe had, passed away in front of his fans.
That is correct. I was living on Vancouver Island at the time, and he was playing a show south of Ottawa.
Okay.
And after the show, he comes down with his guitar strung over his back, as usual, and signing autographs, and he took a sudden heart attack and passed away.
And passed away, okay.
Yeah, and his son Barry, said it's the way he would have liked if he was to go away, right in the midst of his fans and his music.
Exactly, yeah, it's the ideal way to go, if anything, because he's with his fans and he's with the ones that love the most, exactly.
Yeah, it was rather shocking, and it was the following year that my dad passed away.
Oh, yeah.
And I came from, interestingly, an interesting story and a memory is I came from Vancouver Island for my dad's burial and stuff, and it was the week of a festival in Barry's Bay called Timberfest.
Okay.
Big weekly winter celebration, and they had usually have a band and the music in it, and the band that came in was the Family Brown.
Oh, amazing! Yes.
Minus their dad.
Yes, of course.
Who had passed away a few months earlier. So Barry Brown and the kids, I got chat with them for a bit, and we were able to console each other a little bit. We now had just both lost our parents.
Yes, exactly. Yes, and
I've got a couple of pictures I'll send you from that show.
I'd appreciate that. Yes. What is your opinion on the music coming out of Nashville these days? I know you and I have mixed opinions on it, and I would like you to open up on your opinions on it.
Yeah, I. Of course, from where I come from, I sure prefer the traditional old-time country music.
Yes.
Obviously, and at my age, I'm not going to probably change very much, but I am a sort of an eclectic listener, and I enjoy most music.
Okay.
And the national music has changed over the years, and things change. We can't change that. And
that's for sure.
I accept it, and I do listen to a little bit of it.
You do? Okay, yes.
But I can't listen to 2 hours of it or anything.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. So, yes, in order to get audiences and have live shows with lots of people at them, we got to bring in the young people too.
Yes, that's true.
And they aren't on quite the same wavelengths as I am.
Yeah. And so, with your regular appearances at EGANVILLE, Ontario, Legion, on Thursday nights, what has this pandemic meant to those?
Well, that, I'll tell you, a couple of the band members on a Friday night after Thursday in March last year, and it happened to be Friday the 13th.
Oh, wow.
We played a show for the senior center and the general public in EGANVILLE, and it was after that the pandemic was declared. And we have not had a Thursday night at the Legion since. So my Thursday nights have been fairly quiet, but I always mention the afternoon. Oh, darn it, it's Legion night. And
that's
almost
right.
A year haven't been there.
And we miss you guys, I'll tell you that. Well, in closing today, what fiddle song can I play for you? And I bet I know the one.
There's so many, but I think we touched on Ward Allen so much.
Exactly.
If you have that one called Waltz for Ward Allen.
Sure will. Yes, I sure will.
Just as a background to that one, I don't think I don't know of anyone who has recorded that one other than myself. I got it in the music book from Ottawa.
Okay.
And it's written by one of the Happy Wanderers, who was the lead guitar guy, Mr. Ken Davidson.
Okay, sure, yes, okay.
And it was in a big collection from a guy in Ottawa that put together books of music.
Yeah.
And like I say, if I ever heard someone else play it, I've never heard someone else play it other than myself.
Okay, well, I'll get that one on for you, Uncle Ray. I want to thank you for being on the show today, and it's so...
Okay,
yes.
That sounds good. I'll look forward to it, and you keep up the darn good work, and hopefully one day we can get together and bring you out to the farm here for a few tunes or...
Well, it sounds good, Uncle Ray. Thank you.
Take
God
care,
bless
Johnny.
you. Yes.
Oh, by the way, Margaret says hi, too.
Okay, I'll say hi to her for me, too, yes. And now, friends, I would like to play a very special piece of audio from 2017, when I first met the man and the fiddle legend that I would soon call my uncle away from home, Uncle Ray Chapeskie. He has long been a radio mentor of this jamboree. This audio is taken from that very night in EGANVILLE, Ontario, at the Legion there, where my parents and I often spent many nights dancing the night away to the fiddle classics of Uncle Ray and all his buddies up there in EGANVILLE. I hope y'all enjoy this classic live version of Maple Sugar and the little bit of country humor before it, as only Uncle Ray can introduce. Welcome in, friends.
Play a tune here for his parents, Dawn and Willie. They went quite a ways out of their way, and they've got a 2-hour drive home. First time I've ever met them. But anyway, I took a chance of getting docked a bit of pay, and I went out to the car to visit because Willie was sitting in the car, and so I got to meet Willie B. Well, he's sitting in the passenger seat, and there's a goat in the driver's seat, probably about 15 inches high, looking at the steering wheel. He said, "Oh, that's Martina." So I'm thinking that's why they were 2 hours late for supper. Martina was the navigator.
And well, friends, it's that time of week again. Time to say so long from the Way Back Country Jamboree, and as the big clock hands reach the 4 o'clock hour, it's time for me to head on out of here and head back to the ranch in Cornwall. And as we say so long for today, I want to thank my dear friend in radio and radio uncle Ray Chapeskie for being on the show today. It's been an honor to invite him onto the Jamboree and host him for the past 2 hours. And so to play us up to the top of the hour, we've got 2 fiddle songs, but they aren't gospel per se. First of all, it's going to be The Touch of the Master's Hand by Walter Brennan, the dear man known as Grandpa McCoy on the Real McCoys. Then after that, it'll be Johnny Paycheck and one of the greatest songs that Johnny ever recorded, titled The Old Violin. I hope y'all enjoyed today's fiddle music, and just a reminder just a reminder that next weekend we will be paying tribute to the storyteller of Nashville, Tom T. Hall. And along for the ride, we have the legendary queen of Harper Valley, Miss Jeannie C. Riley. So if I brought a smile to your face, tear to your eye, or memory to your heart today on this way back country Sunday afternoon, my time with y'all today has been well spent. I want to thank everybody for a wonderful weekend here at the Jamboree, and so long, and we'll catch y'all next weekend. Same great time, same great place, 2 to 4 on CFRC. So long, and may God bless you all.
'Twas battered and scarred, and the auctioneer thought it hardly worth his while to waste much time on the old violin, but he held it up with a smile. "What am I offered, good folks?" he cried. "Who'll start the bidding for me? $1? $1? $2? Only $2? $3. Who'll make it 3? $3 once? $3 twice? Going for 3, but no." From the back of the room, a gray-haired man came forward and picked up the bow. Then, wiping the dust from the old violin and tuning up the loose strings, he played a melody, pure and sweet, as a caroling angel sings. The music stopped, and the auctioneer, with a voice that was quiet and low, said, "Now what am I bid for the old violin?" And he held it up with a bow. $1,000, and who'll make it 2? 2,000, and who'll make it 3? 3,000 once, 3,000 twice, and going and gone, said he. The people cheered, but some of them cried, "We don't understand. What changed its worth?" Then someone replied, "The touch of a master's hand." So many a man with life out of tune is much like the old violin. But the master comes and a change is wrought by the touch of the master's hand.
I can't recall one time in my life I felt as lonely as I do tonight. I feel like I could lay down and get up no more. It's the damnedest feeling. I never felt it before. Tonight I feel like an old violin, soon to be put away and never played again. Don't ask me why I feel like this. Hell, I can't say. I only wish this feeling would just go away. I guess it's 'cause the truth is the hardest thing I ever faced. 'Cause you can't change the truth in the slightest way. I try. So I ask myself,
I said, John, where do you go from here? And then like a fool, I turned around, I looked in the mirror. And there I was sitting, an old violin, soon to be put away and never played again. So one more time, just to be sure, I said, John, where in the hell do you go from here? And you know, there wasn't a nickel's worth of difference when I looked in the mirror. 'Cause there I was singing an old violin, soon to be put away and never played again. And just like that, it hit me. Why, that old violin and I were just alike. We'd give her all to music, and soon we'll give our life.
Precious memories, how they linger.
This has been Johnny Woodlock speaking for the Wayback Country Jamboree, a division of the Woodlock Ranch Studios, Cornwall, Ontario. P.O. Box 21007, Cornwall, Ontario, K687H8.